Field stabilized. Intaro Atun.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be Fantasy versus Bisu here on Heartbreak Ridge. Left side it is a Fantasy, right side it is Bisu. Now look, Bisu PvT looks super easy unless he's playing against Flash, but Fantasy is an excellent Terran player. So let's see if he can win this game. If we knew who was going to win every single game that we watched, would we watch them? That is my philosophical question for you today. I kind of feel like we wouldn't, right? I can't watch NBA games if I knew who won them, right? Just a replay of an NBA game. Maybe that applies to StarCraft as well. Bloop. Pylon to straighten out the Vespian gas harvesting path. We got Steve the SCV out. Putting down a supply depot. Steve the SCV t-shirts at falconpaladin.store right now. Check it out. It's a nice design. It is on a nice t-shirt. And if you like Terror the Overlord, they're still there. Terror the Overlord shirts. Just checking on them not being cannon rushed by Bisu. As well as mugs and hoodies and two types of hoodies. One thinner, one thicker. If you're beset by snow, as I am, maybe the thicker hoodie is what you need. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, maybe you don't need a hoodie. But maybe it's getting a little bit cooler, so maybe the thinner hoodie is the one that you want here. Also, a nice little winter beanie with the Falcon Paladin logo on it. Yeah, nothing crazy here, man. Gateway opening, nice. Barracks opening, nice. Nobody proxying, nobody scouting. Fantasy's like, I know what Bisu's up to. He's gonna show up with Dragoons at my front door and try to kill me. So that's why I'm gonna get a bunker, or maybe go for a factory here. Based on the gas timing, probably gonna be an expand. Get a bunker up at the front, so when the Dragoons show up, not everything just dies immediately. Yeah, coming on down. No scouting. I don't know. I feel like Steve the SCV is a scouting SCV. Hey! Come on, scout. Yeah, Steve is adventurous. How brave do you have to be as an SCV to get an order to go across the map, find the Protoss enemy, the advanced life form that you barely understand, scout it out, and tell us what's going on over there? You're armed with a drill. You got a drill on one of your hands. That's cool. Ooh, sees a zealot. That's really good, actually. I love that. And he got a factory anyway. So, yeah, the gas wasn't particularly ready to go, but he waited until he had enough gas, and then he went for that. So, SCV says, well, there's probably a Dragoon here, but it takes 8 hits to kill me, so that's cool. Yeah, nothing crazy at all. Bisu's playing as gosh darn standard as standard can be in PvT. Not going for an early expand, getting the Dragoons out, getting the Singularity charge out. Everything is fine. And the Terran's got a Marine behind a hard wall, and the Zealot's not going to be able to get through this. Good luck, bud. Good luck getting up there. So what are you going to do to chase him away? Well, I thought maybe a Vulture, but instead we're going Machine Chop. Getting your command center inside the main base, because the Zealot's making it real hard to build his command center at your natural location right now. This Dragoon is chasing our Steve. Our hero Steve. Leave him alone, mean Dragoon. He's just told to come over here and look at you. He's not going to hurt ya. He's obviously not killing any of your units at all. Dude, that body block attempt, the stutter stepping actually works out. Bam. No scouting. I mean, there was nothing to scout down here, right? There's no further tech. There's not like a fast citadel for DTs or something. That would be bad news bears. But, you know, the point is that Steve the SCB didn't scout that. So whatever's going on, Terran is in the dark until he builds a ComSat, which is not really a priority unless it's DTs, but you don't know it's DTs, so maybe it's a priority anyway. The mind games. The mind games involved right now. Siege mode pretty quick. Fantasy is not interested in moving out here until he has siege mode. Fair. Yeah, so siege tank, marine. Yeah, I don't know. That combo. Marine and siege tank. Tough to deal with. The Dragoons want to get some shots off on something. Well, they kill a marine. That's good. But every shot from a siege tank is so tough. Oh, bringing SCVs down. Oh, every shot from a Dragoon is really tough against these Dragoons. Ah! No! Second tank arrives just in time. Siege mode is almost here. Dude, this micro on display is crazy good from Bisu. Siege mode done. Hurry. Siege up, like right there. That's good. That's a good spot for it. Oh, he sees the siege. Ugh, Zealot gets knocked into the next dimension. And by that, I mean teleported into the body of a Dragoon somewhere. I guess not out on this map already, but like inside the gateway, the Zealots are getting their bodies transported into Dragoons. Exoskeletons, right? That's the lore here. There's a Zealot almost corpse in there. Yes. Anywho, expanding now that siege mode is done. Sweet stuff. Kind of a weirder opening, right? No bunker, but Dragoon pressure anyway. Siege mode gets done. Second base has been done for Bisu for a while, but he wants that economic advantage to defeat the Terran anyway. So Fantasy about 250 APM. Bisu 350. Hanging hard right now. Super hard. But yeah, check out falconpaladin.store for your merch. You can check out patreon.com/falconpaladin for supporting me on a monthly basis or annually. Some people are supporting me for like $5 a year. So kind of an interesting way to do it. I mean, hey, if somebody wants to do it that way, I'm not going to say no. That's fine. Or you can support me directly here on YouTube by clicking the join button down below, becoming a member for as little as a couple bucks a month. And you can do one-time donations by clicking the heart thanks button down below. It's kind of nice. One-time, not recurring donations. You don't have to be like, why is $5 coming out of my checking account on every year on March 17th? And it's like, well, that was your Patreon. Nope, don't have to do it that way. One-time donations are cool. And PayPal is also nice. PayPal.com. And my email address is falconpaladin@gmail.com at PayPal. Pretty easy. All right, what are we doing? Obs, neat. Templar Archives, neat. Stargate, neat. So going to be some Arbiter shenanigans here. We could see carriers. This is a pretty good map for carriers. A lot of, like, walls that Goliaths can't get around. It's super annoying for them. High ground positions you can hide carriers on and attack stuff down below. That's all really key in a good carrier map. Does mine through the mineral wall down here to the south to get a third base up and send vultures out without getting scouted by, I don't know, this probe, I guess. Very brave probe, by the way. Spider Mine's getting researched. Like I said, there's a Stargate coming in, but it doesn't feel like a carrier Stargate. A little too early for that, I gotta say. Observer parking on the tanks. How many tanks do you have, Fantasy? Well, 3. Neat. More factories, more and more and more coming up. Because heaven forbid you make Marines and Firebats and Medics versus Bisu. Not going to go well for you, my friend. Arbiter Tribunal. Warping in from, I don't know, buildings come from like Ire, right? Though Ire is destroyed at the end of StarCraft. So, Shakuris, I guess they're coming from now. Ah, spider mines on the high ground ridges. Always annoying stuff. This observer placement is pretty sick, though. I like it a lot. Ooh, there's a scan. What did we scan? Scanned up here. And saw some Dragoons. And then lost your vultures to them anyway. That's kind of a weird choice. Vultures, no. No run-bys. Bad. No run-bys for you. Starport on the way to EMP. The aforementioned Arbiters, which are on the way. And third base coming up on location down here to the south from Fantasy. This part of the soundtrack always makes it feel spacey. This part always just, like, it feels like StarCraft to me. Like, you're out there, you're in space, you're fighting Protoss, you're fighting Zerg. Ah, it's good. Vultures got the run by. One of them goes high ground, one of them goes south. Ooh, Spider Mine's up here. And then like, hey, come up here. Silly Dragoons. Ow. Ow. Sacrifice a Dragoon for that. More Spider Mines getting laid inside the main base. Vulture gets behind the mineral line. It's a couple kills. You know, not nothing. Keeping some pressure. I like it. The Vulture aggression. Scan always says, be aggressive with your Vultures. It's tempting as a Terran player to sit here, right? To sit here and macro up on 3 bases and get a million siege tanks and Vultures and then try to A-move the Protoss. But if your Vultures are active, it'll slow them down. It'll keep them on the back foot. They don't harass you as much. And then you're in a better position when it's time to move out with your giant maxed out army of tanks and Vultures and stuff. It's good. Really, really good stuff. Pro transfer up to the 3rd. But man, this 3rd base is rocking for fantasy here. This is a weird map for a 4th because technically I think this is your 4th top left if you're Bisu, but it's far away and it sucks. But then what do? You take this minerals only base, I guess. You're going to want a lot of zealots anyway, right? Second Stargate coming in, but no fleet beacon. So this is just got to be a lot of Arbiter production from Bisu. We know he likes his recalls and his stasises. And, you know, the fact that Arbiters cloak all the units around them. Also very fun stuff. This is a tank. Oh my gosh, this base is so dead. You walled off against Vultures, but silly, you locked yourself out of for defending your own 3rd base. Siege tank doesn't get a huge hit off on those probes as they evac, but they do manage to get out of there. The Vultures do chase them, though. Oh, no! Siege tank unsieges, gets saved. Probe count knocked down to 44. Dude, seriously. That's a 3-kill Vulture there. Siege tank considers where to go. Maybe don't, get murdered by a cannon. That's a good option, I suppose, if that's what you're into. But yeah, I mean, maybe high ground set up here, but Spider Mines. Sneaking all. Dude, Fantasy, you absolute beast. Did he get. Oh, there was a siege. Oh, there is a siege tank here. Okay, fine. 5 kills. Oh, probes are dying. 7 kills. And gonna die a happy tank because he got 7 kills and did a great job for the Terran commander in this game of Fantasy. But yeah, look at this. I guess this is our 4th. Heartbreak Ridge has stupid, terrible expansion locations, but what do you do? Recall getting researched here. We got a science vessel. Like, the saving grace of that is that the Terran has to deal with their terrible expansions too. What are you doing here, Fantasy? Are you worried about... Though there's an Arbiter coming this way and has enough energy for a recall, but recall's not done yet. What is this? What are you stacking your tanks up in this location, sir? That is my only question for you right now. What is happening with you? Upgrades happening. Arbiter doesn't want to come in yet because recall's not done, but it's very friggin' close. Here we go. Coming in on the recall. Spider Mine's getting laid. Holy giant recall. Wow. That was highly effective stuff there. Defensive Matrix Siege Tank defending. Trying to get some Zealot bombs from a shuttle on top of those tanks too. Excellent, excellent stuff. Dragoons just casually murdering SCVs for the most part. Zealots getting in the mix. Always a good time against these SCVs. Tearing through that worker count. It's 52 to 40 total workers. Yes, that will get cleaned up by Fantasy. Recalls are very rarely game-ending for a Protoss player. But doing a ton of damage here, bringing some Zealots along to kill those SCVs, because, again, Dragoons really stink at that. Smart idea. 41 to 55 workers. Bisu is way ahead economically. And looking strong. Got a 4th base warping in here, too. Top right. I mean, there's a Spider Mine on this side of the base. Recalled. Maybe recalled. Maybe the... Oh, okay. So the Arbiter dies, but the recall is here at the 3rd base. Bisu! Making them recalls happen like an absolute boss here. Is there enough to kill? Yeah, I think there's enough Dragoons here to kill that command center. They got +1 attack. They can do it. And the wall off hurts him. It's like the wall off hurt the Protoss up just earlier. Sometimes the walling off against ground attacks means you're really vulnerable to drop attacks. Dangerous, dangerous stuff right now. Double arbiters at a time. More and more factories being produced, but losing this third base is brutal for Fantasy at this stage of the game. Siege tanks are rolling in down here from the top side and the left, trying to get in. And once again, gonna be able to clean this up. It just totally sucks is all. Third base gonna re-land. Gotta get a fourth base, man. I know 3-basing Terran is very strong, but against Bisu having a fourth base, I'd feel much better for you in that situation. I mean, producing tanks, vultures all the time here. He is throwing up additional factories. I guess a couple of them died. Oh, recall into Spider Mine Town. Population U. That was sick. Like 5 Dragoons died there. But another recall gets in, and Fantasy is so annoyed by this. The power of the recall, man. It is no joke. And yes, maybe you're not going to win the game with any one of these, but you're keeping the Terran player on the back foot, making him wonder where the next recall is going to come in. It's hard to move your tank force across the map when you're constantly getting recalled. Bisu taking a 5th base, whatever, 11 o'clock, whatever that is. Dude, seriously. Seriously. He doesn't even recall. Wow. He's like, nah, that's not a good enough location to recall. I'm going to hide in the corner. What is going on? I guess worried about this tank drop here. Defensive matrix, more tanks coming in, but way too many Dragoons for that. Oh, he gets the recall anyway. Okay, third base under attack for the second time in like 2 minutes. Not great. These low ground siege tanks are the best thing they've got. The best thing Fantasy has to defend against that. Is he going to send more stuff down this way? This is nuts. This is so crazy. Going to try to dropship siege tanks up here 2 at a time to wipe that base out, but okay, third base can re-land, but guess who's sneaking up the left side? Bisu is. Getting some high ground attacks on these vultures, or on these SCVs would be pretty sick. Did he just... No, the army moved. The army moved, and this top left fourth base is in a lot of trouble, but also high ground Dragoon attacks doing a ton of work here, too. Holy crap, this game is nuts. Spider mines, trying to save it. Probes, attack the probes. You're not going to kill any of these Dragoons. I'm not going to kill enough of them to make a difference anyway. This dropship shows up late. It's obliterated to boot. Not good. High ground continuing to be held here by Bisu along this left side. And the top left fourth is secured by Bisu as well as his 5th. He can mine from that one. He's got us to make the Zealots anyway. This is crazy. 165 to 92 supply here for Bisu. Looking good. Got the 4th base, got the 5th base, keeping the Terran to 3 bases, and hardly even that because the 3rd base has been under attack so much. 4-kill Dragoon. He's a veteran of this battle today, and he's going down. There is no further stage of resurrection for Dragoons once they die. Arbiter, basic attack. Blah. 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 Is anyone going to come take care of this Arbiter? He just killed an SCV. Really shouldn't be allowed to do this. Just a thought. 186 to 96 supply. It's just the 3rd base has been on fire more often than not today. The main base is mining out. It's been recalled 17 times. Ooh, nice EMP on that Arbiter. Sick play for sure from Fantasy, but he either needs a 4th base. Oh, Bisu's expanding to the bottom right. This is Fantasy's 4th base. You cannot have it. Fantasy's not really defending it, though, is he? He's not really in a position where he can do much about that. I guess he's sending an SCV over this way to see what's going on, and the answer is, well, it's not yours, I'm afraid. Oh, that's another recall. EMP. No, the EMP, but the recall was first. Duh! I think that's it. I really feel like 191 to 104 supply is a little bit too much to overcome if you're playing against Bisu. Even if you're Fantasy, even if you're an incredible Terran player, you're going to have a bad time against Bisu sometimes. If not, perhaps most of the time. Who knows, man? Bisu's just that abjectly terrifying. A true legend in his own right. The command center for the third base coming in. There's just really been no opportunity for Fantasy to think about getting a fourth base today. And Bisu's like, I got a fourth, I got a fifth. Now I got a sixth. And I'm up 63 to 36 total workers here. I don't know if maybe... What's the tank count looking at? Does Fantasy have one ginormous tank push across the map in him? It's got good 3-2 upgrades on him. The gateway is at 2-1-1, and the arbiter count is 4, which is pretty healthy. And that's a lot of stasis is available. So I don't even know. I don't know if you get like the most perfect tank push across the map. If you're even going to be able to win this thing. Look how big this Protoss army is. Look at him just kind of wander on in. We're just kind of A-moving. We're going to run into spider mines because who cares? Actually, we do care. We have an obs out here first. An EMP on this group would be pretty good. Defensive matrix up. Siege tanks on the wall, though. Other side of the wall. Difficult to deal with. Bisu says, I'm not going to lose my entire army for no reason. I know I'm winning this game, and I know I'm up. But no reason to sacrifice, a bunch of an army, if not an entire army, on a stupid engagement with a pretty good defensive position by a Terran player with, again, 3 attack. And working on the 3 armor, too. Yeah, Dragoons 4 at a time being produced here. Just Bisu is happy as a clam, smiling ear to ear. Another recall in the main base. I don't know that killing this really matters in Bisu's attempts to win this game, but these tanks kind of covering this high ground right at Bisu's 4th base have definitely been a bit annoying, I would say. That's a good way to characterize it. Oh, what a 6 stasis. Okay, well, we got our units unloaded. We got sieged up and bwop. Another recall. Can the EMP catch it first? Yes, the EMP catches it first, and the Arbiter gets obliterated. So I think that's the first fail recall of the day. Maybe the second for Bisu. Pretty effective, pretty good hit rate on recalls today. Oh, wait, recall. Recall at the 3rd, drop at the 4th of Bisu. This 3rd base wins the most dangerous place to work in all of the Kaprulu sector for 99 or whatever year this is supposed to be. 2200 something, whatever. Yeah, 3rd base finally dies. 3rd command center has run several times today, but it finally gets obliterated, and that's your ball game. The 4th base dies from Bisu. Yes, that's a good win for action. I'm not going to say that was terrible, but this base exists, and this base exists. So Bisu can fall back to some really nice economic positions whenever he feels like, which I guess he does now. And he's even expanding down here to the 6 o'clock because Bisu is in full, complete control and command in this game. Arbiter's not going to bother EMPing, or rather, Science Vessel's not going to bother EMPing. Oh, we're going to... Oh, wow. Maybe they should have, because you just got your face stasis, sucker. Oh, my gosh. This is just insult to injury here. Putting that command center there, I feel like would be pretty good Fantasy. Just going to throw that out. But Bisu's maxed out. He's mad. He just lost his top left 4th base. He's got 3-1-2 upgrades on his gateway units. A lot of siege tanks, but what I like to refer to this as is not enough siege tanks. And that's it, man. We done. GG! Fantasy taps out, and Bisu is your winner in 23 minutes and 50 seconds there. Yeah, that went exceptionally well. Absolutely incredibly well. Ooh. That was amazing. That was absolutely insane. That's just Bisu, man. Sometimes you click on a Bisu game and this happens. I'm telling you, Bisu against anybody but Flash is just kind of like, he's a little casual. Yeah, he got a huge attack on his 3rd base. Fantasy, that was the best moment for him all day, was wiping this thing out. I mean, he didn't kill the Nexus, but he killed a bunch of probes here. He got some vultures into the main base, killed a bunch of probes that way, but after that, it was Bisu recalling nonstop over and over and over and over until Fantasy started having just nightmares about recalls into his closet and under his bed every day. The Arbiter play was as good as it's possibly going to get here. The EMPs weren't quite able to keep up with it. The stasises were really fantastic. And what else can you say other than it's Bisu? It's our guy. Just raffle stomping his way through a game. 161,000 points there from Bisu, 137 from Fantasy. Outproducing the Terran player, getting outkilled by the Terran player by about the same. So, but resources here tell the entire story. Just the number of Bisus Bisu had. The number of Bisus had. 55,000 resources spent to 36 in only 23 minutes. That is a 19,000. God, not good at math, but I think that's a 19,000 resources difference in only 23 minutes. That's one of the biggest ones we've seen on the channel, and that's Bisu, man. That's our guy. Hit that like button for Bisu, because that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
The path of ascension is before us. Our honor guides us.